Hello, and welcome back to the English Club, the place where you not only improve your English, but also feed your mind with powerful ideas from the world's most inspiring books. If you're new here, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss a lesson that can change your life and your English. Today, we are diving deep into a powerful and transformative book, Ego is the Enemy by Ryan Holiday. Whether you're learning English or just looking for a meaningful story that will help shape your life, this one is for you. Sit back, relax, and let's explore this book in a smooth and thoughtful journey. From the very beginning of time, human beings have been plagued by a force that often goes unseen but has the power to ruin empires, break families, and destroy dreams. That force is ego. It's the voice in our head that tells us we're special, more important than others, that we deserve more. It's the silent whisper that convinces us we're better than we actually are. And according to Ryan Holiday, ego is the true enemy of greatness. In his book, Ego is the Enemy, Holiday invites us to walk through the lives of history's most successful and influential people, those who built powerful legacies and those who were destroyed by their own egos. With each story, he shows us that ego isn't confidence. Ego is not ambition. Ego is arrogance. It's the feeling of entitlement without having done the work. It's pride that blinds us, and it's the wall that blocks us from true learning and growth. The book doesn't shout at you. It guides you gently but firmly. It's not just for leaders or athletes or entrepreneurs. It's for anyone who wants to build something meaningful, whether that's a career, a relationship, or even just a better version of themselves. Ryan Holiday tells us that ego shows up in 3 major stages of life: when we're aspiring to something, when we're achieving success, and when we're dealing with failure. In each of these moments, ego wants to take over. When we're just starting out, ego tells us we already know everything. When we're doing well, it tells us we're invincible. And when we fall, it tells us we didn't deserve it, that others are to blame. The true path to mastery, to excellence, to fulfillment, is not the one where we feed the ego. It's the one where we silence it. He reminds us that we must approach the beginning of our journey with humility. There's a reason why some of the world's greatest minds, from Socrates to Steve Jobs, talked about being students, about always learning, about staying curious. Because when you let go of ego, you open yourself up to wisdom. When you say, "I don't know," you create space to learn and grow. Holiday uses the example of John Wooden, the legendary basketball coach, who never focused on winning games. Instead, he focused on the fundamentals, on practicing the basics again and again.
Why?
Because Wooden knew that results are not always in our control, but effort is. Ego wants instant recognition. It wants applause. But real success? It's quiet. It's slow. It's built through consistency, discipline, and patience. And this is where the ego becomes dangerous. It wants to skip the process. It wants shortcuts. It doesn't care about the journey. It just wants the glory. But as Holiday gently reminds us, the process is the reward. The journey is where growth happens. When you focus on learning and improving, you will go much further than the person who simply wants to look successful. Now, what happens when you do succeed? When you get the job, the recognition, the fame, the money? That's when ego often becomes even more powerful. It whispers, "You did this on your own." It says, "You're better than others." And that's where many fall. He tells the story of Howard Hughes, once a brilliant entrepreneur who became paranoid and isolated in his later years. Ego consumed him. He stopped listening to others, stopped learning, stopped trusting. And slowly, success became failure. Ryan Holiday reminds us that success can be dangerous if we're not careful, because it's so easy to believe our own hype, to start thinking we are the genius, the star, the exception. But real greatness? It comes from staying grounded, from giving credit to others, from being aware of our flaws and keeping our feet on the ground even when the world lifts us up. And then there is failure. When things go wrong, ego is quick to speak again. You're a failure. You'll never come back. It's all over. But failure is not the end. In fact, it can be the beginning if we let it. Holiday writes that those who recover from failure are the ones who are humble enough to take responsibility, who are honest about their mistakes, and who keep showing up. Ego makes us fragile. Humility makes us strong. In a world that celebrates loud voices, bold claims, and fast success, ego is the enemy, is a breath of fresh air. It teaches us to slow down, to listen, to learn, to do the work even when no one is watching, to be kind, generous, and open, to let our actions speak louder than our words. There's a beautiful line in the book: impressing people is utterly different from being truly impressive. Ego wants to impress, but greatness doesn't need to shout. So how do we live without ego? We practice. We check ourselves. We remember that we're always learning, that we are not the center of the universe, that the work matters more than the reward. We remind ourselves that no one owes us anything, that every success is temporary, that failure is part of the process, and that humility is not weakness, it's strength. Ryan Holiday doesn't pretend that this is easy, but he shows us that it's worth it. He encourages us to pursue excellence not for applause, but for the sake of the work. To do what is right, not what is popular. To serve something bigger than ourselves. Ego is the enemy of what we truly want: peace, mastery, purpose. But when we recognize that, when we let go of the need to be special, to be right, to be admired, we unlock the potential to live a life that truly matters. So remember, the less we focus on ego, the more we focus on the work. The more we give, the more we grow. And in the quiet humility of our efforts, we find real strength. Thank you for spending this time with us at the English Club. I hope this journey through ego is the enemy has not only helped your English listening skills, but also given you a powerful reminder to stay grounded, stay humble, and keep growing. If you enjoyed this narration, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you want more inspiring books made simple and smooth, just like this, stay tuned right here. Until next time, keep learning, keep improving, and always remember, your greatest strength is not your ego, but your ability to learn and grow. Take care, and see you in the next video.